Good evening and welcome to the Febar. I'm your host, Jack Jordan Maynard, and joining me tonight, as always, is Mr. Jack Pickering. We have lots to get through tonight as finally Antonio Félix da Costa has signed for Jaguar. We want to know your thoughts as could he win the championship this season? Plus, elsewhere, we've got Felipe Drugovich has joined Andretti. Could he be Jake Dennis's biggest threat as a teammate? Plus, who now signs for Porsche? And who will join Dan Ticktum at Kiro this season? So come and have your say by clicking ! Discord, or just typing ! Discord actually, and have your say on the only FE fan show. Mr. Pickering, how are we? How are we indeed, my friend? Oh, Pico, your camera has just frozen. Or was it just me? Or is it me? Are we live? Pico? Hello? I think I've lost Pico. Chat. Oh, Pico? Pico. I can hear you.
Yeah, I've been able to hear you. Well, I couldn't hear you throw to me.
Okay.
I heard you just as you finished your throw to me.
Okay.
And I was like, and then you were complaining that you couldn't hear me. So yeah, it sounds like a you problem.
No, it sounds like a Pico crash problem. Yeah. To be fair, it looks like a Pico crashed in chat. Looks like the one that's being said.
Check your ping, mate.
Check my ping. Ping's all right at the moment. For whatever reason,
I'll do it in the break in an hour's time. But yeah, no. What was the thing that you said to me before?
How are you?
I'm fine. Tired.
Yeah, I get that. It's been a long week. It's been a long couple of weeks.
Right. So, little story time. Well, obviously
we got time for story time. Go on, then.
You kind of know because we stayed in the same place for Valencia a few years ago.
Okay.
But you know how bad my snoring is and everything.
Yes, I do know how bad your snoring is. Mine is not great either.
I've been diagnosed with sleep apnea.
Oh,
so
okay.
That is some news.
Is that like a congratulations? Like, how do you say? Congratulations, you've got sleep apnea.
Yeah, it's kind of like, there's a solution, and also I have sleep apnea, and there's be medium. So yeah, I know that I've got this problem now, and I know I have to wear this lovely face mask when I go to bed. I've got a nozzle
every day.
Yeah, which is.
But what about if you don't wear it? So are you taking it to Valencia, or are you not?
I'm bringing it to Valencia, yes, because I going multiple days without it would be bad. But I'm not wearing it. I think it's tomorrow night because I'm away from home.
Okay.
But we'll see. But I've got a little app that tracks it and everything.
Okay.
So,
high tech.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad that I've found this out, and there is like right, okay, that's the explanation, and now it's kind of right. I need to try and fix this now, which is great.
Well, we're gonna have a conversation about your snoring. Like, it is loud. It does sound like you're about to.
Yeah.
You're choking.
Yeah, it is considerably from.
But I managed.
It's gotten worse.
I managed to sleep through it when we were.
The thing is, you weren't in the same room as me.
Well, we were when we stayed in that one night in the Madrid.
Oh yes, the one. Yeah, the one
night in Madrid.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd been like flagged up with this back when I went to Liverpool for Eurovision, which was a few months before that. And then it just got progressively kind of worse, and so yeah, it's fun. But I've heard a recording of it, and so to sort of explain it to people, it's so I snore rather loudly. I stop snoring for about 20-30 seconds, and it's at that point where I'm not actually breathing. So
wow. That's the mad bit.
I then basically compensate for those 20-30 seconds by letting out 20-30 seconds worth of snoring in one big snore. And it's horrible.
It did wake me up once. was like, whoa.
And that's the thing that it's very kind of like disconcerting because
It's weird though,
I
isn't it?
can't control it.
Yeah.
I'd love to stop it, but I
Yeah.
can't really at the moment. But yeah, so that's some fun news. But I'm bringing the equipment to Valencia.
So
So
that's your latest update.
yeah.
I don't really have any latest updates. I've just been plodding along.
Yeah,
Plodding along.
no, apart from that, I no, not been doing much. I've been at work today, doing some tours around the museum, so that's fun. Um, but
Nice.
yeah,
So, Antonio Félix da Costa then, it finally got announced. Finally got announced. He's taken his time. Well, Jaguar, I don't know. I suppose there's a lot of
like
loopholes.
we've taken our time to get to the actual news story instead of waffling on about sleep apnea for 15
Yeah, I know,
minutes.
but
10 minutes.
we've got to fill time. Uh,
Yeah.
Thoughts. I felt like it was a long time coming, and I think we'll talk about that in a little bit in a second. But now that it's happened, I feel like it's a mini reset for Da Costa. Not like he was doing bad at Porsche, because he wasn't. But if the environment was as bad as it was, right? Let's just say hypothetically. Then you think it's a fresh start. And if Da Costa was really good, right, in that period where things weren't going his way and so forth, and the mental challenges of his seat and so forth. Now that he's at Jaguar, and I know Jaguar, they were quick towards the end of last season, and it's only an evolution, right? It's not a revolution going into this season. So we're expecting Jaguar to be, being able to challenge. And I think, considering that they've lost Nick Cassidy, arguably, one of the best replacements that they could have got was Antonio Félix da Costa.
100%. I think it's an absolute coup from Jaguar to get Da Costa. Obviously, after they were informed that Nick was leaving, which, as we learnt in London, was a decision that was kind of made around this time last year before the season had even started. So it was nothing to do with the Jaguars' kind of lack of performance in testing and the first couple rounds. Even though Mitch did win that race in Sao Paulo, Jaguar looked like they were on the back foot. Nick Cassidy has, and we praised him so much on this show that he's been the only teammate that's been able to hold a candle to Mitch Evans. Yes, Sam Bird did it for a little bit, but then season 8 happened, and it was a tragic year for it. It was just a bad year for him, and never really recovered. But yeah, obviously Nick's moved on to Citroen, and that's all been announced and everything, and so that's great, and that's actually a super team with him and Jev. So that's whether or not they can get back, if they can get back to the performances of what they were like in season 8, then when they were Venturi, then that team could be a force to be reckoned with this season. But in terms of finding a replacement for Nick Cassidy, they've absolutely secured a blinder with Antonio Félix da Costa. He was still toe to toe with Pascal Wehrlein, who was the defending world champion. Obviously, he missed out on obviously, he didn't have the best of seasons last year, and so didn't retain the title. But he's still damn quick, and so Da Costa moving to this new team, and we heard all these rumors about Da Costa and Porsche, and there being some sort of thing between Antonio and Pascal. I think this is the best solution for all parties. It wasn't even last season; it was the season before where Nico Müller, who we believe is coming into the seat to replace Da Costa, although it's not been announced yet, was courted by Porsche a year and a half ago. And if they're already looking to the future to replace you, I think this is the best option for Antonio. Even though he could have stayed at Porsche for another year, I think, and I'm not sure the the long and short of it, but I have heard that he might have had to buy his way out of his contract to be able to move to Jaguar for this season. But I think that actually this team switch for Antonio now is genuinely fantastic for him, because he's now got a very quick car. It won 5 of the last 6 races. Yep. He's got a very quick teammate in Mitch Evans, who is a very close friend as well of Antonio's. I think that team will be huge for next year. And I know that you opened the show with it and saying that he could potentially win the title.
That was going to be my question to you.
Yeah, I think that's a really genuine possibility. Antonio Félix da Costa could win the title this season with Jaguar, but yeah, it will be incredibly interesting to see. He's still very new in that team, and so it might take him a little while to kind of build up and everything. But yeah, I think that's a stellar lineup for Jaguar. And Ian James, who's just come into the team, he's got an absolute cracker on his hands now. I think it's going to be a really good season from a Jaguar perspective if they continue what they had at the end of season 11.
Yeah, it's one of those in it now. It's kind of like, oh right, how much pressure do you put on Antonio Félix da Costa? Because if we look at like Lewis Hamilton, for example, at Ferrari, it hasn't gone his way. He's moved to Ferrari, and I suppose I know a different sport, but like the same rules apply. I think like the settling in process, the learning the buttons, the learning the new powertrain, and all the systems that he'll have to relearn. It might take him, as you said quite rightly, that time to adapt. To his
I think the difference.
I think we've lost Pico there. I don't know what's going on with Pico. He's had a couple of cutouts tonight, and I'm just talking.
Everything like that, and did I cut out again?
You did cut out again, yes.
Say Say
what you said.
Did you hear me saying that it's a cultural difference for Lewis?
Nope.
Look at that. Okay. Nope. So for him, it's I've just seen my frozen face. I don't like it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'm the problem. I'm on Ethernet here. But
I don't know.
But yeah, it's But yeah, I think it is a very different ball game in Formula One, because in Formula E the only real difference is the powertrain, whereas in Formula One there are quite a lot of differences, and there are more changes to grasp hold of. Whereas in Formula E it's the same car underneath it, and yes, you got a new team of engineers, but I think it's nowhere near as big a cultural difference as it is for Lewis in Formula One.
You are 100% right.
For Antonio in Formula E.
Yeah, I do believe you're right with the cultural differences. Obviously, he's gone from England to Italy, for example. So a big cultural difference there. You are right. But with any move, it takes time, and there will be that adaptability process. But in our last episode that we did, we were looking at like who's the top 5 best drivers in Formula E, and having people come on and give their best 5, and people put like Antonio Félix da Costa in their top 5, and some people left out Mitch Evans, right? So going on that, some people were saying that Antonio Félix da Costa is the better driver. I'm not saying that Antonio Félix da Costa becomes de facto number 1. I don't think there is a de facto number 1 in that team until you go into the season and you see how they perform. But there will be that pressure. I think we're taking away pressure from Antonio Félix da Costa, but then we're going to add pressure right back on by saying, well, he is regarded as one of the best, so there will be some expectation that he will challenge Mitch Evans from the get-go. Agreed?
Yeah, 100%. I think Da Costa is of that quality where he will be able to jump in, and I don't think it will be plug and play immediately, but that's the whole point of having what is it? Do they still get 15 days of private testing before they go to Valencia?
I believe
So,
so. It's shared in one way, shape, or
yeah.
form with others, so they may give him vision someday.
Well, yeah. I know that because Jaguar and Envision are quite close. Jaguar are very kind to offer Envision multiple days of testing where they go, and I know that because Envision are up at Silverstone and Jaguar are literally like 5 minutes down the road from me in Kidlington.
Yep.
That they go down to Abingdon Airfield to do it. And that's also where Mahindra go. I'm not sure if Kira go there, but a lot of the teams that are sort of based around here, they go down to Abingdon.
Yeah. You know, if we go back to the documentary quickly, right? So this move for Da Costa was the writing on the wall, right? For this to happen, because when we watched that documentary, and for those if you want to come on and talk about it, you're more than welcome for the Da Costa move, and we'll take your calls.
Exclamation mark Discord.
Exclamation mark Discord in the chat if you want to come on. So and we'd love to hear from you because we can't do the show without you. It felt
really
like
can't. Otherwise, it'd just be us two waffling.
Yeah,
for
exactly,
too long.
and that's not the point of the show. So come join us because the waiting room is dead at the minute. So if you want to come on and actually have your say and come and speak to us,
Ricardo.
Ricardo
is a corner place on this show.
He's so if you want to come on, if you haven't been on in a while, or if you'd like to come on, exclamation mark Discord, get in the show, come and have your say, and so forth. But anyway, the writing on the wall sort of moment was the documentary, right? And
you're back,
to it, right? And Florian Mondlinger.
Right, you're gonna have to say that all over again because you cut out.
Did I cut out for you?
I didn't get any of that.
All right, I'll say it again. So the writing on the wall, right, was a documentary for me. Like we watched it. And we kind of saw from there that the relationship between Da Costa and Porsche was not great at all. And obviously he had that bad start to the season, but then he won it back. And it never seemed like, even though that he won those races, you know, those 4 and 5 that he did, that relationship never really repaired. He kind of got the seat again for next season because Porsche were like, well, we can't get rid of him. But then, you know, there was talks about Oliver Rowland going there and obviously the Nico Muller stuff. And there was always talks of replacing him, right? So I feel like ever since that documentary aired that this move was going to happen.
Yeah, I think the writing's been on the wall ever since it was revealed that Muller was being courted by Porsche, and they've been doing some private testing. I think that's not exactly like rocket science to work that out, but it's So the writing has been on the wall for a while. It's just how long would the relationship kind of go on for, where they're kind of like, yeah, they're fine, but yeah, it's not a happy marriage, but you're doing it for the kids. Is kind of like that's kind of what it's like. But by the end of last season, and now they've. Oh no! Do you know what? It's a little bit too toxic. So mummy and daddy getting divorced at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good analogy. I like it.
We come up this and we're up the stuff we come up with on this show. Jesus Christ.
Love it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's it's 100% the right move for Da Costa to head over, just because there were so many things and we don't know what this I do feel like this incident that we don't know anything about, that apparently happened in Sao Paulo between Da Costa and Wehrlein, and none of us really know. Maybe Sam Smith knows, but he might not be able to say what it is, but everything was pointing to this, and it's 100% the right decision for them to go their separate ways, because I feel like it could have got messy had they stuck around for another season, but yeah, and I think Da Costa will have more kind of freedom at Jag. So and then obviously the incident that happened in Berlin in
Yep.
free practice one. I think that was very kind of clear to see from everyone's point of view. What and well, I've forgotten that was a airline into the back of Da Costa, yeah. Or
Yes.
was,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember which way round it was. I knew that they hit each other, and it was like,
Yep.
oh, drama. And it was as like the Da Costa's leaving rumors were coming out, and so
Yep.
it was everything was pointing to this. Um, it was just a matter of when, not if.
Yeah. When or not if. Right. Shall we hear from Ricardo? Shall we get
Yes,
Ricardo in?
I think
Let's
people
get
have had enough.
Ricardo in.
27 minutes in, we've already
Yep.
waffled.
We've waffled as much as we can to because Ricardo's the only one in the waiting room. So Ricardo, how
Come
are
and join
you?
us.
Hello, guys.
Pleasure to
How are
have you
you?
on. Thank you. We feel like we've done this show for you at the moment.
Yeah, sure.
But
We're never doing a Friday night show ever again.
at the looks of it, we're learning
Everyone's
very
out on
quickly. We're learning very quickly about our small little community at the moment. But Da Costa, it's finally been announced, right? We kind of knew when Porsche announced it a couple of days before, well, weeks actually, really, before it actually got officially announced by Jaguar. What are your initial thoughts now that the move has happened?
It's a good thing for both parties because Porsche were like you said, Pico. It was just a marriage just to. It was in the lapse of a eruption, and then Florian said, "Well, let's just do this for the sake that we don't have anyone to replace that's gonna be better than him in the latest form because you are only good as you are in the last race." Yeah, so it's good because it's gonna be a brand new team for Antonio, a brand new environment that he spoke to the Portuguese broadcaster, and it was basically the message was it was just happy because Jaguar were more than happy to take him on, were more than happy to let him race in the WEC. So and they didn't force him to do only Formula E. They just said to him, well, if you want to be on a race car every weekend, so be it. And yeah, we knew that was a major catalyst
Yeah.
for Antonio.
And obviously,
And
with Porsche moving away from WEC at the moment as well, I know, so it kind of this move kind of made sense.
yeah, yeah, he did. And yeah, Antonio also said that he wanted to be in an environment where it wasn't so partial, where they would be happy for both drivers to win it, because we all know at this point that Porsche were more tended to give Pascal the better strategy, and yet, like I said in a previous FE bar, Antonio always overcame it when he had the chance.
Yep.
So yeah, we all knew that this was a bad kept secret.
Yeah.
And it is a bad kept secret of Nico joining Porsche. I don't know,
Yep.
because the timing, either they are waiting for next week or the next few weeks, or there's something that we don't know, but it's
Well,
95%
we're not far away now from testing, so
from testing. Yeah.
it won't be long, and we'll talk about testing at the end of the show.
Two
We'll
and a
talk
half
about our
weeks.
plans. But do you think he can win the championship this season, next season, or this season that's coming? Like, do you think he is a possibility to win this championship?
Well, if Jaguar delivered the package we believe they brought to Berlin and London, it could be a major contender. Both him and Mitch, if he gets on with it, because last season was a write-off for Mitch, and we know that he was neck and neck with Nick last season and season 9. Yeah, season 9 Nick was in the Invision, but was pretty much the same card, same package. But I think Jaguar can be a major threat to the team's championship, because in a solid team, a solid package as drivers, I think they could be on for some good points. Yeah, well, I'm acting as if Jaguar didn't get second in the team's championship this year, but we all know that was majorly thanks for Nick's late form,
Yep.
and I think it could be good. Let's see if Jaguar and Mitch get on with it. But I think the Costa, it's a I don't know, because when he moved from Techeetah to Porsche, he started slow, and then by Hyderabad and Cape Town he
Yes,
went
the
on
Cape
pretty
Town
good.
that move was unbelievable. Like that's
Cape Town was a race to remember. One
yeah,
top 5 best races of Formula E. And we know when he has a good strategy under him, a good package as well, and he has the energy management under control, which is a big catalyst for him, for Mitch and Jagger itself, because they don't help you themselves
yeah,
with the strategy, and Mitch is the major suspect in the in those cases. But yeah, it's only good for Antonio, and it's a I won't say it's a shot in the dark,
yeah.
but it can go like the mid season 11, or it can go like season 10 or season 9. It's what I'm thinking. So yeah, or Antonio could be a major championship contender, or it could be like Mitch this season.
Yeah. Um, do you think he beats Evans? Because we were talking about that earlier, like the between, you know, who's the better. It's a great driver pairing, right? But someone's going to beat someone. Do you think the Costa beats Evans in his first season, or does Evans beat the Costa?
Well, it's an unknown to me. If you ask me to bet on someone, I wouldn't bet on
He's
either
not
of them.
sticking with his man. He's not sticking with his man, Pico. He's not.
I'm
He's
just
not.
being
He's not.
realistic, like I was in the previous Effie bar.
He's not. He's not
But
putting his money on Da Costa. Can you believe it?
no, but one thing. When Da Costa moved from BMW to Techeetah, they thought that Da Costa was only going to be an upgrade on Lotterer,
Yeah.
and then in the first season at Techeetah, he won everything. He won with 2 races to spare. He won with a massive advantage, not only for second place and for Jeff, who finished third. And I don't know. He could swing. He could swing both ways, because when he went from Techeetah to Porsche, it wasn't at Pascal's level. It was right there or thereabout. But yeah, it was a season to get used to Porsche. But it's an unknown. But if I had to back my man, I will 100%. But being realistic, he could swing both ways.
Yeah.
I think the only way I could give Mitch the advantage is quali pace.
Yeah. Yeah. Mitch can
But
pull it out of
well,
the bag. That is true.
but Tacosta was good. It was good in qualifying for Techeetah. It was a different car, yes, but we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. I think it'll definitely be interesting. Like I think it's a great pairing, and you kind of we got. I think we all kind of want the Costa to kind of just hit the ground running and give us this amazing battle with Mitch Evans. Pico, do you have anything to say or add?
Yeah, I honestly, I completely agree with Ricardo in terms of it is going to be a very uphill battle for Da Costa with going up against Mitch, because but it's the same thing as we said the last 2 seasons ago. When did Costa joined Jaguar season 10. Yeah, because he was with Envision in season 9. And we said, oh, he's going to come into Mitch's team, so we need to see whether he's going to be able to match Mitch. And I think this is kind of the exact same situation. I think it will be very close. I think between Da Costa and Mitch Evans, but I think it will just depend on whichever way the wind is blowing in terms of who's going to be quicker, because I think that is going to be a very close battle between the both of them.
Perfect. Well, Ricardo, I think we've kind of covered it. Unless there's anything you want to quickly add, but apart from that,
and by quickly add, can you stretch it out for about 10 minutes?
Well, if you let me, I will. No, but yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be close. Antonio also has a good skill in the modern Formula E, which is a peloton style race specialist.
Yeah.
We know that he's very good on peloton races. Nick was as well. Mitch can be right there or thereabout, but when it comes to pure strategy and when the team backs him, Da Costa is incredible.
Yeah.
So, but it's gonna be unknown, to be honest. And I much prefer to be neck and neck for the championship than neck and neck for 10th or 11th in the championship.
Yep.
Like it was looking for pretty much most of the season.
Perfect.
And what are you expecting to see out of testing? What are you? Because obviously he's been not too far away from that. What are you expecting to see out of Da Costa in those first 3 days?
Well, hopefully I want to see Da Costa at least at Mitch's pace, because Mitch at preseason testing is always fast. And when Mitch is fast, the package is good. Unlike last season when Mitch went fastest and then it was kinda nowhere for most of the season. But if Antonio can be at Mitch's pace by the last preseason testing day, I think he could be good.
That's fair.
Yeah, indeed. Right, Ricardo, we'll let you go, and we'll move on. We'll talk about a bit Felipe Drugovich and the Kiro seat and so forth, and see what's happening. But thank you so much for coming on and making the show your own.
Yeah.
Well, next time maybe think doing an Febar pub edition. Maybe there will be some more contestants.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll do that. But thanks for coming on.
Yeah, sure thing, guys.
Right,
Always a
speak
pleasure.
to you soon.
Yeah, see you.
Bye.
Bye.
So there we go. So that's it. If you want to have your say,
Yeah.
the waiting room's yours.
Oh, hang on. Where am I?
You will come on. You will come on. I'm sure you'll come back. You'll come back. Don't panic.
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm now.
You'll come back. So if you want to come
Shall
on,
yeah. If you want to come on,
exclamation mark Discord.
yes, exclamation Discord. Shall we speak about the other news that's come out?
Let's speak about Felipe Drugovich and what your thoughts on that. And you know, obviously he won F2 a good while ago now, and it was obviously Aston Martin reserve driver, and was praying for this F1 drive that didn't come. And then he did a couple of rookie tests before, and then I'm sure off the top of my head now, and as obviously then took the bite, did the Mahindra drive, and did really well in Berlin, to be fair to him, right? I think that has kind of shown, he could be a good driver. He could be a really solid driver in this championship. And Andretti obviously made the first move, right? When they announced that they'd signed Felipe Drugovich, we were like, okay, the pennies are beginning to fall into place, where, well, clearly Nico Müller might be on the verge to, as expected. I know in our last show, we've had some people a bit skeptical whether Nico Müller was the answer for Porsche, but that looks like that's the way that's going to go at this precise moment. So Felipe Drugovich, I think it's a good move. He spoke quite well in Berlin, so fingers crossed that he'll be a good addition to the championship.
Yeah, I think he absolutely will. We saw that in Berlin, where he jumped in that car, and admittedly, the Mahindra was fairly competitive last season, for the first time in a while. But yeah, I think he jumped in. Yeah, he jumped in that car and proved that he is the real deal. I'm delighted that he's got a seat in Formula E because I think he's just wasted time just standing in the Aston Martin garage for like the last couple of years.
Yeah.
He's well, he we we don't know the full story of it, but he reportedly turned down multiple Formula E drives in the last 2 years, along with seats over in IndyCar, to cling on to this F1 dream that isn't really going to happen. And yes, there is a small amount of jeopardy that there may be a seat at Aston Martin available next season, but that's if Honda can force Yuki Tsunoda into a seat if he hasn't got a seat in the Red Bull driver camp. But even then that's a very long shot from what I've seen. So yeah, I think it's it's a little bit late for Djokovic to finally realise the grass is greener on our side of the fence. Also, while we're talking about green stuff, congrats to Formula E for winning an award for being green. I've forgotten what the award was, but they won an award. It was on the BBC Sport Facebook
They did.
page.
I saw that. I did see that.
And so yeah, well done, Formula E. That's that's all the speech I had prepared. But Felipe coming into Andretti, I think's good. I think that's going to be a great fit. It's a competitive package, and yes, that seat's been a little bit of a curse the last few years, where no one's really been able to get with the pace of Jake Dennis.
Yeah.
But
like, do you reckon he could be like his closest competitor, Jake Dennis, like Felipe Drugovich, in terms of teammates that Jake Dennis has had lately?
I think there's a real possibility of that. But the thing is, we need to remember that the last two teammates that Jake Dennis has had have not been that far off the pace, if you look at it. Nico Muller was not far off, and he got a podium taken away from him in Jakarta. And Norman Nato, even though he had a very slow start to the year in season 10, he motored towards the end of the year and was definitely there or thereabout. But he missed out on. What are you doing?
It was me. I accidentally clicked the button.
Don't
accidentally click buttons.
Yeah, right. Okay. Fair enough.
You're back. Don't panic.
I just saw that on the other screen. I was like,
it took
silencing me.
No, I'm not. I've got this weird. I don't know if it's coming through. I think it's coming through me. I think I've got the Discord notification sound coming through my ears, and I'm like, okay, that's not great.
No. Well, yeah, it's because people are writing in chat.
But normally I have that muted, so I'm very confused why I could hear it.
Okay, fair enough.
For this reason, I'm like, why is that? It's like, you know, when Discord do setting stuff, and then all of a sudden things change, and you're like, oh my god, why has it changed?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think Felipe, I think he will prove himself this year, and I think hopefully he'll be close to Jake Dennis. But we'll see what that car can do next season, because I feel like last year they weren't as there as they have been the last couple years.
Yeah. We'll see. But we're going to talk about Kiro now. And Kiro has joined the chat.
Kiro. Kiro has saved us.
Hello, Kiro. Welcome to the FE Bar. Hopefully you can hear us.
Thank you for saving us.
We've come to talk about your team. because Kiro, Dan Ticktum and Kiro, they haven't announced their final driver yet, and so we think it's between Jake Hughes and Stoffel Van Dorn. At the moment, so out of those two drivers, who would you like to see in your team with that partner in Dan Ticktum?
Personally, I'd prefer if they cloned Ticktum.
Just two Dan Ticktums.
I don't think that's quite possible.
I don't know. I'd quite like to see what Van Dorn could do, to be fair.
Yeah.
I will say, like, if Van Dorn does kind of leave the grid, that will kind of suck because we'll lose another champion. And it'll be the first champion that has not been on the grid since Nelson Piquet Jr. The rest of them are still there, but yeah, the thing is, I think Hughesy has also got good performance as well, which is.
And there wasn't much to separate the two between them when they were at Maserati.
It was just a lucky race win.
Yeah.
I mean, Hughes, it'd be sad to see him go. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, Van Dorn's a better driver.
What train are you on?
I am on the South Western Railway. What one is this? It's the 450, actually.
The 450.
That's 450.
I didn't realise that you were on
the train. I heard the train. I heard the door, right? That you can hear to open and close. I heard the doors. So I take it you're going home. Where are you going? Where are you going?
I have so much anxiety.
I'm currently walking out the station. I'm going home. I need to get out of it. I've got my train line open. Not sponsored, by the way. If you do want to sponsor me train line, by the way, more than happy to accept that.
Well, it's currently coming through our channel, so
Yep. So.
We'll give you a cut. No.
Wait. Okay, I'm out.
All right, cool, perfect. No, it's fine. I just heard the train noises. It just made me laugh. So, I get your point, right? But the news I'm hearing is I think it's going to be Jake Hughes over Stoffel Van Dorn. However, now the only reason, like, I get your point with Stoffel Van Dorn, and again, he's a champion, but I'm going to be honest, right? And as much as I like Van Dorn, and I like Stoffel, and I like talking
Sorry, I was on stage with Wi-Fi.
Okay, can you hear us?
I completely missed that.
All right, we'll hear it again. Right, so basically, what we're hearing is it might be Jake Hughes over Stoffel Van Dorn. And what I'm thinking, as much as Van Dorn is, as you said earlier, was a good driver, he hasn't, since he's won his championship, I'll be honest, he hasn't done too much. He's kind of just been a bit non-existent, right? So, and I can't see, and he wants to obviously fight, and I don't think Kiro, obviously next season, is a team that will be fighting towards the top. You'd expect the powertrains to have improved or take a step further, which the Kiro can't. So therefore, I think Van Dorn might look at that and go, I'm just staying in Formula E for the sake of it, rather than, trying to actually win.
Yeah, I mean, Van Dorn's in WEC next season, isn't he? I haven't been keeping up with signings for that.
It's not confirmed, but there's from what I've heard, there's a very high percentage that he'll be part of the Genesis hypercar project.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be too upset if it's an all-British lineup. To be fair, it's more of the fact that I'm going to miss the deal meals. And not... I don't know. I think Van Dorn's a better driver. If he's staying in Formula E for the sake of it, he might as well just go to WEC, you know? He might as well just do that full time, do NLS or something on the side. Stay in endurance. Well, Jake Hughes hasn't won a championship, has he? Don't think so. No.
What, outright?
Not like a championship of any. We may be in the younger series, but not anything.
Yeah. No. I meant Formula E. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Definitely haven't won Formula E. I don't think he's won a race in Formula E.
He's gone and been on the
This
podium.
isn't a different case.
He's been on the podium and he's got a pole position.
Yeah, but I don't think he's won a race.
I think I thought because he's quite popular that I'm a new gen. Sorry,
Yep.
I've been around since late Gen 2. But
To be fair, it's not too bad.
I assume that he was a race winner because he's just very popular.
No, he's a good driver. When he came into McLaren, he hit the ground running and was quick, and and I think he's just a popular driver in general. He's got quite a good personality, so I think he's just one of the fan favourites in a sense, and I think, that's why I think he's quite popular.
I can confirm Jake Hughes won the 2013 BRDC Formula 4 Championship.
Yep.
There you go. He has won a championship.
I was going to say it would probably be a
was
lower
12
series
years ago.
down.
Yes.
Only from the okay, that does surprise me actually. I thought he would have been what's a GB3 at least.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to sit down with Jake Hughes one day. I think maybe I might try that if he gets announced with Kiro, because we do have a contact at Kiro now, which is quite good. So we might be able to get a couple of interviews. Hopefully.
Ooh, get them in touch with me.
So fingers crossed. But obviously nothing's been announced yet. So which is a bit annoying because for Jake, I really think that I want to know about his exit at McLaren, I think, because his exit at McLaren kind of set him up for this kind of... He was arguably performing as well as Sam Bird at the time, or whatever, Rene Rast, sorry, right? In that period, right? And obviously didn't get the seat, and, Sam Taylor comes in and he gets replaced, moved to Maserati, and it's kind of snowballed, didn't quite work out Maserati, and then it's very quick how you can be flavour of the month and then not flavour of the month, and I feel like Jake Hughes is not flavour of the month really at the moment. He might still get a seat, but he's fallen down the pecking order.
Well, if Jake Hughes, let's discuss it if he doesn't get the seat. Where does he have to go?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is that him out of major championship motorsport?
Unless he finds his way into a GT3 seat somewhere, probably in GT.
I reckon one of the teams would snap him up as a reserve.
Yeah.
Obviously there are no WEC clashes next season, but Jaguar obviously had Tom Dillman and recently Joel Eriksson on the books to develop and everything like that. So it might be worth a manufacturer just bringing,
especially
him
around Gen 4
scenes,
and so forth.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see how it is. But quickly, last line before we let you go on Dan Ticktum, obviously, and Kiro.
What, is there someone else in the waiting room?
There's no one else in the waiting room in a minute. Nope. Last line.
It's fine. If you want me to leave, I will leave. But I do not mind walking and talking.
That's fine. No. We're going to ask you a question, but we're just going to move on with the show just for timings.
Have you got any thoughts on Da Costa or Dragovic?
What'd you say? Sorry, a car went past.
Do you have any thoughts on Da Costa or Dragovic?
Da Costa or Dragovic? Dragovic is an interesting signing. I think it's a bit... I think he should have signed sooner, in my opinion. He should have realised that he is 100% not getting an Aston Martin seat because the seats are Stroll and Alonso. So I think he should have had a look at other series earlier, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree. The last thing that I was going to say was on Dan Ticktum. And if obviously last season was great, obviously he gets the win, he gets a podium, he gets a position.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay, sorry, shit.
No, don't worry. I've said that on this show before.
Hopefully you're okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Just very quickly on Dan Ticktum, we're expecting a Kiro drop off. So what would be a good season for Dan?
what would be a good season for Dan?
Yes.
Any season's a good season for Dan.
But
As long as he's over the E, I'm happy. Yeah?
all right, perfect. Right, Kiro, thank you so much for coming on, and even though while you're on the train and walking home, we appreciate it massively.
Walking home,
Yeah.
as you can probably tell.
Yep. We'll let you get home safe.
Thank you for saving us.
Yeah, get home safe.
Right.
This fucking firework. All right, sorry for swearing, by the way.
Yeah.
I've kind of.
At least you said sorry. Thank you, Kiro, for saving us. Yeah, and Ricardo
for coming
making
on.
this.
But obviously we have people in chat, so we'll say thank you to Current Lap. Current Lap's obviously lots of questions, and Nikki is in chat. Nikki, you're always allowed on. I know you know Figgy swore there. Kiro swore there, but you're always allowed to come on. We prefer you not swearing. We kind of treat it as.
I think we should have a list. We should have a list.
You're leading it at the minute, but you are on it the most.
Do you know what I reckon? I reckon it's close between me and Tom Brooks.
Yeah, to be fair, that's true. And
Tom's only been on once, and I think it's very close between me and Tom Brooks.
Kira doubled his tally in that one. I don't know how you do a dump button. I would do a dump button if we could do a dump button where it cuts what was last said.
Oh, do you mean like when on
they have on national radio? There's like a 14-second delay. Like there's a delay.
No. On the no, I thought you meant like on the right stuff on Channel 5, where they get a phone call in and then someone calls someone but I can't really say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you the word later. I was thinking of because it's
anyway, well, a bad word.
It's not a swear word, but it's
not great.
You know, it's not daytime television, Fred.
Yeah.
Even though we're almost past the watershed.
Are you taking calls? Okay, so we've made a decision, right? But we will take calls if you want to come on, right? Because we were going to run for 2 hours, but it's clearly that there's not many people. So if you want to come on, !Discord. On the Current Lap, they asked a question about since the female, any news. I haven't actually heard too many news about.
I haven't heard anything about any seat.
Abby Pulling will be racing
Abby
for
Pulling
Nissan.
will be there for Nissan.
Jamie Chadwick will probably be there for Jaguar. But I haven't actually heard too many announcements.
I've heard nothing. I've heard absolutely zilch.
But as I said, we were going to end it at around 9:00ish because of as I said, we can't do the show without you. So we kind of covered our points and there's not really too much to add. But if you want to come on and do calls, we will come on, join the waiting room, and we'll extend the show for you. But the only thing left for us to say really is testing's coming up soon, and me and you are going. Ain't that right, Pico?
Yeah.
I'm
booking
excited.
my flight. I'm booking my flights in a bit. Yes. It's exciting. I've seen the prices decrease. I got a Google alert. About weekend and say, "Oh, prices are coming down for Valencia." And
I've got to book my train ticket. Right, I've got to book my train ticket.
Yeah,
because I'm flying to Madrid, so I'm doing what we did originally.
Yeah, we did that last year.
Yeah,
2 years ago.
So
you know what? I'm so looking forward to it because I haven't been to Valencia in 2 years, and I mean, like how much I love going to Valencia.
Yeah.
And it's because it's kind of my week. It's just the whole week in Valencia.
Yeah.
So much fun, and it's so kind of relaxed compared to a normal race weekend. A normal race weekend because it's so. One after another. We're always quite busy running around, and admittedly, our day kind of starts at the end of the race where we go into the press conferences and we do all the driver
video
interviews and everything like that. But actually, in London, we were filming stuff throughout the weekend as well, as you will have seen over our YouTube channel. And if you haven't watched it, you can go watch Jack play chess with Lucas Di Grassi and Bird look at some playing cards. On the YouTube channel, so if you haven't seen that, go and watch it.
It was good fun. I don't know what type of interviews, and I think they're going to be just straight talking ones probably if we get any. And in Valencia at the minute rather than like game stuff, but because nothing nothing's massively arranged at the minute because Formula E teams are Formula E teams. But we do have a call. And we'll talk about what we're doing in testing a little bit more at the end of the show then. So if you want to come on, current lap, it doesn't matter if you've been a Formula E fan for 1 day, 1 year, 1 second. If you want to come on and talk about something, get on the show. So we've got Joanne. Hello, Joanne. Welcome to the FE Bar, and first time caller. You are muted at the moment, so hopefully we'll give you a couple of seconds to unmute.
There we go.
But how are you?
Hello.
Hello. What would you like to say?
I have a couple opinions on the 3 drivers that you guys were talking about.
Yep.
On the Costa's adaptation to Jaguar, I don't think he's gonna struggle or anything.
Okay.
In the past, they have managed to just kind of slap drivers in, and they do okay.
Yep.
Something I do hope that changes the Jaguar is that Ian James becomes a more active person when it comes to managing drivers, because not last season, it was 23, 24, or where we saw Cassidy and Evans fighting for the title.
Yeah.
And James Barkley just looked like he was not really there. He was just watching them duke it out and never really doing anything.
That was the one thing I had with James Barkley in terms of, he was loved, and he's a lovely guy. Don't get me wrong, we interviewed him, right? He's a lovely guy, but Formula E is not Formula One, I suppose. But I felt like he probably should have come under a bit more stick and a bit more questioning than he did about what happened on that day with Nick Cassidy and Mitch Evans, where both of them didn't win the title, or neither of them won the title. I felt like he could have come under a bit more scrutiny for that, but it'll be interesting to see, as you're right, what Ian James can do with the Jaguar team.
Yeah, for sure. Like at Portland, was it 23 or 24? I can't remember. It's been too long.
It was 24. The one that he spun out on the penultimate lap.
Nick Cassidy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was 24 because I tried not to scream because my dad was sleeping when I was in Turkey. So.
Yeah, I screamed. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You screamed for you. They screamed for you.
Yeah, because this is old news, but they knew Mitch Evans was not gonna. He had a penalty. Why are you making why are you putting pressure on the other guy to
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, he had a 5
very
second
silly.
But I think that one's more on Nick Cassidy than. You can't make that mistake.
Yeah, at all. And just the lack of communication in Jaguar.
Yeah.
Is also I hope it generally changes, because it's very silly. They just play by ear. That's my team, but they just play by ear sometimes.
Yeah.
And but exciting times for Jaguar.
Yeah, I fully get you. You kind of want to see now if Jaguar can push on, because when push came to shove, it was kind of a bit like McLaren in Formula One. It was a bit too niceties, and then you look at. I was at Monza when the whole Norris Piastri sort of debacle about should he give the space back, but then I know Norris had a bad pit stop again in the next race. I forgot what it was, but Baku, Piastri gets a bad pit stop, and if it wasn't for that bad pit stop for Piastri, he could have been challenging towards the end of the race, but wasn't. So it swings and roundabouts. So whereas McLaren are being a bit too nice, a bit like Jaguar, not really just I don't know, sorting it out and letting the drivers kind of just deal with it. It's kind of, that's how I see it, if that makes sense. So hopefully, Ian, I know I've met Ian a few times. He's a lovely person, but be very different. I think he had the Mercedes experience when Mercedes were doing really well, and I think that'll be crucial for him for Jaguar, going back to those days when Mercedes were really strong.
Yeah, that's true. James Barkley was just very passive.
Yeah.
When
I do get that. As I said, that's the only. As I said, for me, the only scrutiny that he could have got a bit more was, he could have stamped his authority down a little bit or owned up for. He didn't seem to own up for why things happened, and he kind of got away with it, in my opinion.
Yeah, like when Pascal won the title, and he was just kind of smiling, and both of his drivers looked like they're about to break down.
Yeah, well, they would
Bro.
be. They've just lost the championship, haven't they?
Yeah, it's just like time and place.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. I fully agree. Okay, anything to add, Pico, before we let Joanne go?
No, I feel like you've covered it there.
No, perfect. Joanne, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, for sure.
First time caller. Make sure you come on again. Thank you so much for watching the show as well.
Hopefully it'll be busier
Yeah,
next
be a
time
bit
you
busier,
come.
but I'm sure it will. Like we've learned that Fridays is not a good day for the FE bar. So
everyone's out clubbing.
Everyone's out doing other things. But Monday night after a race, make sure you're here. It gets busy, but it gets fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for coming on. Right, see you later. There we go. We got another one. That was happy days. Happy days. Current lap, I think.
Is this a record for the lowest amount of people?
Probably.
Yeah,
but current lap might.
Yeah, no, thank you to all three of you. So, I mean, that honestly means so much.
We massively appreciate it. We kind of realised when all of our core viewers were like, "Yeah, can't make it," and we're like, "Okay, we're kind of there's not many people left." But we still appreciate every single one of you, and we still want to do the show. Oh, look, Kyle is in. From current lap.
We're there. Come on.
We're getting there. All right, Kyle is in. I know Kyle's been chatting to me for a while. I remember. Kyle, how are you?
Hello, can you hear me all right?
Amazingly.
Oh, hello, guys.
Amazingly. How are you? Thank you for watching. You've been watching the whole show and all your questions. And we can talk about them. That's the whole point of the show.
Yeah, I mean, the seats this year, it's there was a lot going, so it's interesting to see who's taking what. So obviously I was talking the other week about the last couple of seats that are going.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I really wanted Taylor Barnard in a seat. So, and I don't think you've mentioned him on today's show, but that was something I really wanted. So
how do you think Taylor's going to fare at DS?
Oh yeah, that's a good question, isn't it? I think he'll be all right because he came into Formula E last year, and like I said, I've only got one season under my belt. I watched it like with a side eye for the seasons running up to the season 11. When he was in McLaren last year, I mean, he was in the top 5 pretty much the whole season. So when they said McLaren weren't renewing or going to be part of the racing series anymore, it was kind of like, well, what's going to happen? So, and with the pressure of them going from 22 seats to 20, where Formula One's gone the other way, and they've got extra seats, even though they were taken up very fast, I think, with Cadillac. But Taylor Barnard was one I was like, don't lose this talent because he's so young, and he did give a lot of the champions a run for their money.
Yeah, honestly, as I said 2 years ago when I saw him in Valencia, then he was a test driver. And he was, as I said, he was the 7th quickest in Valencia overall. And you're like, this kid's got something special, and he's gone on and he's gone on to prove it. So
and I said it's just testing, and look which one of us turned out right.
Sometimes you just get a feeling, right? You get a feeling. You look at this and you think, okay, this kid's something special. And obviously he had to move. The team was gone, right? And he could have walked into any team, I reckon, Kyle. But
he could have done McLaren WEC.
Yeah, well, true, but then you'd have to wait a year. But he was never signed. He was never a McLaren driver. This is also the thing that you have to remember. He was driving for McLaren, but he was never a McLaren driver. He was contracted to the team, not the manufacturer. It was in that sort of odd circle.
Because I think that they did say, wasn't it was going to get complicated when I think the commentary halfway through the season was saying it could get complicated with seats with McLaren dropping out because he's assigned to them.
Yeah, so Sam Bird was assigned to McLaren, whereas Taylor Barnard was assigned to that team. So McLaren. So if there was buyers for that team and that team remained, Taylor Barnard had a contract for this season with that team, so would have remained with Ian James.
Yeah, I think yeah.
So that's how it was. That's how it would have gone. But now he's at DS. The thing is with DS, right? Obviously, they once upon a time they were the manufacturer to beat, right? And they've kind of dropped off over the last couple of years, and kind of that team that's kind of fighting for podiums and the odd race win here or there. So for him, obviously, he's at a manufactured side now, but he will, like Jean-Eric Vergne, who's obviously not there anymore with Citroën, but what Vergne wanted was for them to get their act together and produce a car that could win races consistently, but they didn't do that. So I think for Barnard now, the next step is winning that race, and I reckon DS is probably the best, not the best, was the only option, but he's got a good chance of doing it.
Damn good option.
Oh, I don't say it's a bad option.
I think he's got the caliber, because in Tokyo last year, that was that really close race they had at the end where there was like 5 going for the win at that. I think it was a wet race.
Yeah.
But it was just a nail biter. The last 5 laps was just like you didn't know who was going to come out on top, and then he hit the wall.
Gunter was away in the distance, and then
But yeah, definitely Barnard. But whether this season, because they keep teasing Gen 4, and I don't know how much they move their development into the next car like they would in Formula 1.
Yeah. They do the same.
Yeah. So is it going to be very similar to last season's powertrains and cars?
Oh, yeah. So yes. So it's more of a revolution than an evolution. So you'd expect Nissan to still be strong. You'd expect Jaguar, Porsche to still be. The only team that you'd expect a little bit of a dip is Kiro, because Kiro are using the old Gen 3 powertrain, so they can't make any their software gains is limited, so everything is software gained at the moment. You can't change the hardware, so like the main engine, you can't make any updates. That's homologated for 2 years. So it's just software updates. So the old Gen 3 powertrain before the Gen 3 Evo powertrain, which the Kiro has, so that's limited amount of software development that they could possibly have. So you're expecting a dip from them, but we're going into preseason testing, basically seeing who's won the software battle, if there is one, to see if anyone has made any changes. Because if they haven't, and everyone's then you're kind of expecting status quo going into Sao Paulo.
But if it goes like the end of last season with Jaguar, as you've mentioned on the show today, well, mega strong. And this is why I'm absolutely buzzing that Da Costa's gone there, because he has the caliber. And I think that car, was decent most of like the last half of that season.
Jaguar, I don't know, it was a bit of bad luck but they started off okay, then they went nowhere. Then obviously Nick gets the win in Monaco, and then just goes nuts basically towards the end of the season. But Nick is that caliber of driver.
No, did Nick win in Monaco?
Did Nick was 2 races?
He won in but when we won for Envision in Monaco,
there was 2 races.
Nick won in Shanghai.
Was that his first?
And then it was China, wasn't it? It was that wet race. Wasn't it the 1-2? Buemi and Oliver Rowland.
Oh, of course. My brain went there. Yeah. Sorry, I thought it was he won in Monaco the previous year, didn't he? Of course he did.
Yeah.
He won in Monaco the previous year. But he still went mental though in those last couple of races, didn't Nick Cassidy, didn't he? And just showed us why, as I said, he was the best driver in the series. So, and I suppose that's the other interesting caveat is Citroën, I suppose, because with Jean-Eric Vergne and Nick Cassidy, you're expecting fireworks, right? You're expecting them to be challengers, but the Maserati powertrain was not a challenger, right? So even though they've got the same powertrain as the DS of Taylor Barnard and Maximilian Gumpfer, they just they were never really contenders or challengers. But I can't expect Nick and Jev to be sitting there thinking, right, we're just waiting for Gen 4 and we're just going to sit here finishing 12th and 11th.
Because there's no prizes for that, is
there?
there?
Exactly. So, I don't know as I said, what your thoughts are on the Citra boys.
I just think, I mean, coming into the sport, obviously, I was a massive fan of Formula One. I just got bored of it. I mean, it's hyped up a bit now, but that's where I sort of fell in love with Formula E, and then having an electric car, you just feel like you're really connected to it. No pun intended.
Oh, you got an electric car? Oh, let's do.
Yeah. So like, I love.
So what,
I love
what electric car have you got?
Oh, I don't know whether it's special or annoying, but I got a Model 3, so I've gone Tesla, which is,
Tesla.
Just
how is it? How are you finding? Because I have these conversations with Sylvain Filippi, the Envision, about the future of electric and how it's going. So, as someone who uses it, like, how are the charging points? How is the range? How have you found being an electric car holder? Because I'd love to be one too. But
glad I get to talk about this. I could talk about this for days. So
talk to us about it.
It's one of the best driving experiences I've ever had. In terms of driving, not fun, because they don't sound like anything. There's no rev of an engine.
Yeah.
But it glues to the road. It's quick. But yeah, the whole world for me, I just hate going to a petrol pump, to be honest. So to be able to just plug it in every night isn't too bad. In terms of like range and stuff like that, and this is why I got really caught onto Formula E, because they talk about some of the problems. Like they bought that 600 kilowatt charger into the pit boost this year. And that's amazing for the EV world, because that means my battery could charge to full in half an hour. It would completely destroy the battery, but it's shown that is something that they can work into. Even though 290 is not so bad at a Tesla supercharger. And Tesla have got it right. And anyone can join that network. Obviously, Tesla charge to do that. But if you have a Tesla car, you can just turn up and plug in. So, yes, it works. But I only drive 40 mile, I think, round trip. So I don't really have those limitations. But I'm glad I made the jump.
That's what they said. Electric cars for city driving is probably the way to go. And the only other question I have, because I think there's a lot of, I don't know, myths, but about charging at home. And have you found your charging, or your electric bill, for example, going up like tenfold because you're charging your car, or have you not noticed a difference? Because some people have mixed reviews. People said that you could charge your car for as little as £2 or on the mains, or has it been more expensive?
No, so switching from petrol to electric was a massive saver for me, but it wouldn't be if my energy provider didn't give me 7p kilowatt per hour overnight. So I get 5 hours where you get 7p per kilowatt, which is what they charge per kilowatt. For anyone who's listening doesn't understand all these little words, it's like a 1% essentially. So you would pay 7p per percent. So on a drive to work, I'll use 20%. So it costs me about £1.80 to charge back up to where I need to be for the next day. But I work from home majority of the time, so I'm not sure what the offsets would be, but I think it's cheaper. I think if it was petrol terms, it would be 85p a litre in comparison to the 160 or 133 I think we have currently. So, but not a problem with charging at all.
Not a problem. That's the other thing that people say is that, that your electric bill is going to go through the roof if you start.
I mean, again, but if I had a petrol car, I'd still use more fuel. So to me, it's £20 extra, but I don't do that much miles. Well, that's on my electric bill. The one thing I really want Formula E to look into, and I think Karun said this at the very start of the season, is they still haven't found a way of getting rid of electrical fires for electric cars. Not that Formula E get them, but, because of it being, I don't know, they might do. But there is no way of putting one out yet. And my mate who works at a dealership said they bought this. They had a Mercedes EV that was on fire, and they had to tow it into like a skip and fill it with water. So that's the one thing I'm hoping Formula E can do for the EV world is put people's normal.
Well, it just reminds me of Valencia 2 years ago when we had the battery fire.
Oh God.
So
because when the cars go red, they stop the race. So and they obviously they're concerned about the safety of the drivers. But
no, interesting. No, I'm glad we had this conversation. Thank you so much for coming. You have to come back on. Right?
Of course.
You've been in the chat. You've been hovering in the chat for a while, right?
There's nothing wrong with being nervous. That's all I'm going to say.
Honestly, I know, but we're friendly people. We're friendly people.
Of course. Yeah, you guys have been great to watch through last season, and the coverage you did on London was brilliant. Like the pit walk as well. Pico was great.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, we loved it. London was a big highlight for us this year. I think it was.
Is it rumored that it's their last time they're doing it there?
It's 100%.
It's the last time next year for London,
so
and then
get your
we'll
tickets.
move on to
Yeah,
another
100%.
location,
Get your tickets because
wherever that is.
I think it's a shame. I think it is a shame that we'll lose.
Such a unique circuit as well.
Yeah,
one that can be dry and wet at the same time.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, I know, as I said, Formula E gone with this pursuit of speed, to try and win people over, but it would have been nice to have had. London could have been our Monaco in a sense, right? London could have been our Monaco, and there's nothing wrong with having a Monaco, right? I know it's a bit possessional, but it's the skill, right? And if you could make that London track, and even if there was ways to find it to make it a bit more challenging, right? And with maybe some overtaking, but so you could just.
The thing is, the main thing is that Excel have also done renovations the last couple of years, and so that track, from what we saw, what it was like in season 7 to what it was last season, there is a substantial change in the final sector.
Yeah.
And that's something that is not really part of our control.
100%.
And
100%. No,
yeah.
I it's a shame. It's a shame. It is a big shame, and you've joined Formula E at a time where it's probably going to go through its biggest roll of the dice of whether it actually takes off as a series or if it just becomes one of the little mediocre series that just people tune into every now and again. And that will be when Gen 4 is and how they attack Gen 4. And if Formula E get it right, the potential is there. But if we can't get it right, then I think we'll struggle.
I'm feeling positive for the sport. I think it caught my eye, and then I've told people about it, and they've started watching it. It's only that the season's ended that it's calmed down in my life. But no, I think I think it's going to go on the up and up. I just think they've got to make sure they market it and don't just copy what Formula E and MotoGP do, because they all just look very samey, and I think that doesn't help the sport. I think I watched a video where I think it was yesterday. I was watching one of your old videos about the Creator Series, and your spec, what you were thinking about that and how it was, and obviously that was unique. But what you said on that show was some of the celebs were no ones.
Yep.
Nobodies.
Yeah. God, you're going back ages. Ages.
I'm trying to learn as much as I can of you guys.
Oh, we appreciate it. We appreciate it massively. That's awesome to see that you're going back.
We're the teachers. How far has this gone?
Oh God, we're teaching people about Formula E.
Actually, I say that, and I've just realised, Jack, you are actually a teacher.
Yeah, I am actually a teacher.
Yeah, no, you can't. Yeah.
Hopefully, one day I won't be a teacher and I'll be doing this full time. But one day at a time, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right, Kyle, we'll let you go. Thank you so much for coming on, and I do over the season. Do make sure you come on. We'd love to hear more from you.
Yeah, and I'll look forward to your guys' meet and greet in London, because you got to do it.
Yeah, well, we've done it for the last time, so it's getting bigger and bigger. Hopefully, with next season's even bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, guys.
All right.
Cheers.
See you later.
See you soon.
Right, someone else has turned up.
Yes. This is the biggest waffle stream ever, and I love it.
Someone else has turned up, and I don't even know if the lower third. The lower third's still there. It's still there. It's still here.
I've never been this happy to go. What are we? 80 minutes without a break.
Yeah.
This is just because it's just been. We just kind of stumbled into most of this.
We just had a nice little chats with people. Tobias Wirtz from eFormula News, eFormula the ED. You've even got the little third thing. It was the last person to speak to us. I was going to change it. I forgot to change it, and then I double checked with Nick Golding, who was going to come on, but then has not come on, and then we'll talk about that later. Tobias Wirtz, how are you, first and foremost? I can't remember the reason why you said you weren't going to be here in the first place. But what news could you have to tell us? And I think we haven't even spoke yet, so maybe he's having some. I feel like Discord's.
Are you there?
Discord's done everyone reset your settings every 5 seconds and everyone.
Mine had a full reset earlier.
So that's why I feel like I can hear the Discord like notifications, and you're just like, why can I hear them now? I distinctly remember turning them off. Don't know what's going on with Tobias. We'll just chat.
Right.
I'm there.
He's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good evening,
The
guys.
settings have been changed.
Evening, Toby.
How are we?
I've been playing football tonight.
Yes,
so
I thought that's what it was.
I just went back home and saw the show is still running and thought I go to the Discord.
No, we massively appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a slow one tonight, unfortunately, because half of our main viewership on a Friday, but we've had
Friday night. It's not a good night.
Friday night's not a good night, but the good thing is we've had some new callers, so that's always brilliant.
Perfect.
So we're growing the community, even though it's been a slower night. So what have you got to tell us? By the way, can I say what I can say, that you are the I don't want to spell it out of eFormel DE, you know what I mean? Can I say it?
For sure.
The editor.
No problem.
The editor of eForm, the new editor of eFormel DE and eFormula News, Tobias Wirtz. What information and what have you been hearing in the grapevine before testing?
Oh, not that much to be honest. For sure, we had some news during the last days, weeks. Nothing that was unpredictable, I think.
No, of course, with the Costa.
Yeah, for sure. And I think next week we will know who will be driving the second Porsche. I think this will be no big surprise too.
Nico Müller.
Yeah, absolutely. Then Kiro is the big question mark.
Yeah, so I'm hearing, obviously I believe it's between Jake Hughes and Stoffel Van Dorn, but I feel like I don't know if you'd agree or maybe you disagree. It might be heading in the direction of Jake Hughes. Obviously, I don't have many sources that tell me, but I'm just feeling that's the direction of travel that might be heading to. What can you tell us on that?
Nothing official, of course, but yeah, that's what I heard too. Yeah,
it's just a slight. Maybe it's going towards Jake Hughes. It's a shame to lose Stoffel though. Potentially, if we do lose Stoffel, because obviously, a champion, as Pico said earlier in the show, he becomes the first champion off the grid since Nelson Piquet Jr. So it'd be the second champion.
Yes, absolutely.
That's off the grid, but since he's won that championship, I said earlier, he's not had the best of times really over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, that's true. He had, with DS Penske, he had some kind of bad luck. He was always consistent to the point, but he did not score that really big results. I think P3 in Monaco 2023, and then the victory by luck in Tokyo, was it?
Yes, the victory by luck in Tokyo, as we call it. Yeah.
Yeah,
even spun.
No, it was not just luck.
It was well planned, but obviously
it was clever.
It was a clever strategy
but
for
he
sure.
Needed the safety car to come into
yes,
play,
absolutely.
Right? It needed something.
And he needed it at absolutely the right time. If the safety car would be coming out 2 laps later, it has been too late, and he wasn't able to win the race. But yeah, for sure.
He even spun in that race, and still was able to
in turn 1. Yeah, I remember. And he touched the barrier with the back, and but he had that big gap to P2 that this was no problem. So yeah, but otherwise there were no big results for him. I think this were the only 2 podiums he got in the Gen 3 era. Yeah, it's a shame. I like him. I really like him, but unfortunately, it looks like he's out of contention for a seat for the upcoming season. I don't know what will be in Gen 4. We hear rumors that there will be maybe 11, maybe 12 teams on the grid again.
Ooh, interesting.
Maybe he will get a second chance to come back into Formula E, something that Sam Bird will not get, I think.
Yeah.
But that's
Do you think
still fine in the future.
Do you think Sam Bird's future now is that 2027 WEC seat with McLaren? Do you think that's basically where it's heading for him?
I don't think so, to be honest.
You don't think so? Okay, interesting.
No, I think Sam Bird doesn't have any kind of hypercar experience, and as we heard last week, Porsche withdraws from WEC after the end of the season. And I think the Porsche drivers will be the ones that should be getting good seats in WEC again. Matt Campbell, for example, absolutely great driver. He deserves a seat in a hypercar for sure, and I think he will get a seat. Yeah. And to be honest, there are so much good drivers in WEC that have already some years of experience in WEC. For example, Antonio Félix da Costa too.
Yep.
Yeah, he drove for Jota in the customer Porsche. He's looking to get back into WEC too, into hypercar WEC. And I think probably he will get a seat maybe in a McLaren.
Yep. I suppose that makes sense, because now there's a lot of very experienced Porsche drivers that are out of a seat. But I say but, we all know it's Nico Müller. It wouldn't have thrown any spanners in the works. You don't think Porsche would have thrown one of their hypercar drivers into the Formula E mix, or do you think that could happen as a test driver role or something like that we might see some of these drivers fall into a rookie test in the future? Yeah,
for sure they will. And the best example is their rookie test driver from Berlin this year.
Yeah, that the 16-year-old.
No, the other one, Ayatjan Güven, who became DTM champion just 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And he did an absolutely great job in the rookie test. He was second fastest overall in his first single-seater driving ever. He never drove single-seaters. He drove kart. He was a kart driver in Turkey, but didn't have the money to go into Formula cars. So he drove Porsche cars in Turkey, and Porsche took him into the Porsche Junior program, and so he went up the Porsche Carrera Cup ladder and became winner of Bathurst last year, I think, and DTM champion this year. And he was absolutely quick in his first single-seater outing.
So one to look out for sure, then, definitely.
Yeah, but I think he will not go into Formula E. This was opportunity that Porsche gave him for as a thank you for his big effort in the 911. Okay. So I think something similar will maybe happen to Matt Campbell, for example, next year, I think. And the second driver, we all know that Porsche, we in Germany know that Porsche is working together with the ADSC and their junior program, and they had Tim Tramnitz in the car, in the Abt Cupra car first, but now they are working together with Porsche, and they had Elia Weiss in the car this year, who's the son of Claudia Hürtgen. I don't know if you remember her. She was driving Formula 3 and had a really bad accident in Monaco. I think at the end of the 80s.
Oh no!
Where she broke.
No.
What?
No.
She
can't remember.
Yeah. In that
you
time.
You lost me at 80s. I was like, it's a bad accident. I was like 2010s, 2000s, and then you got 80s. I was like, no.
I genuinely thought you were about to say I was -7 or something like that.
I'm sorry. I'm a little bit older, so I remember. She was a Formula 3 driver. She was driving in Germany against Michael Schumacher, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, and so on. She was really good.
Yeah.
And then she drove in Monaco. Monaco was the race where a Formula 3 race took part at the Formula 1 race weekend, and she had an accident. The car was I don't know how to say. The wheels were on top, and the problem was that she had her hand outside the cockpit, and she injured her hand because it was hit by the rollover. Yeah, long time ago. Sorry.
Long time ago. Yeah, long time ago.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so not much is happening in the Formula E world, basically. So basically, we just need to get the testing in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, for sure. Are you there?
I am there.
Yes.
I am there. Both of us are there.
Both of you?
Yeah.
We're both
great.
there. So a lot of time. Hopefully, we'll have a
You're
good
gonna have
week.
you're gonna have to put up with us for longer than you usually would. You only have to put up with us for usually 3 days. It's gonna be 5. So good luck.
Well,
Yeah.
you maybe 5. I'm not there on the Friday. I've decided to.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah. Because I'm flying into Madrid, so I've decided to miss the female test.
Okay. No, I'll be there from. I'll be flying there on Friday evening already.
Okay.
Staying the weekend in Valencia.
Nice. Are you Airbnb-ing it or hotel?
No.
You stay in Chester, don't you?
No, unfortunately not. I stay right at the airport in the
Okay.
Ibis budget.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fairs. I didn't even check it. Well, we're gonna stay in an Airbnb. There's quite a few of us.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
We
We haven't
haven't
booked it yet. So
we haven't booked it yet. So
hopefully we find somewhere in Valencia.
Best of luck.
we'll
Yeah,
do it tonight, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those that we
yeah.
have to
The weekend
arrange.
the weekend before the test is quite difficult because there is a big ship exhibition.
Yep.
And all hotels are booked. So yeah, it was difficult for me to find a room, but I have to change the hotel at the weekend, but then stay at the other budget.
Then plain sailing all from there. Perfect.
Nice one. You said plain sailing.
Oh
There's
yeah,
a
because the ship
exhibition.
exhibition.
But, yeah.
Planned. All right then, Tobias. How was the football before we let you go?
Yeah, we
5-a-side, 11-a-side, 7-a-side.
11-a-side for sure.
11-a-side. Where do you play?
Yeah.
I think we've had this conversation.
Yeah, I'm playing forward.
And
okay,
yeah, so I'm in goal, so you'd be shooting against me.
Aren't
you much too small?
Trust me, back in my day.
Too short.
I can touch
the answer is yes.
The answer is yes, but didn't I had a good spring in my step, put it that way.
So okay, perfect.
I could touch the crossbar, so
no, it was bad.
If he does a big jump, just a big jump.
Just a big jump.
Just press it. Yeah.
Just like Antonio on the podium.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just a big jump. I do like playing the goal. So was it a match then or training?
No, it was a match. No league match. It was just friendly game, and yeah, we scored 5 goals and we won 4-1.
4-1, nice. So was it full?
How do you score 5 goals and win 4-1?
Yeah,
was one of them an own goal?
It was an own goal 5 minutes before the end.
Gave him a little consolation goal. Did you get any goals?
No.
Terrible striker.
Yeah, I was substituted after 25 minutes.
He was pulled off.
Yeah, I had I had some
hamstring issues.
Some strange feeling in my thigh, and
Hopefully it's okay.
Yeah,
hopefully all okay.
I think so, but I didn't want to take any risks.
I
have to say I'm already 44, and most of the guys I'm playing with are between 20 and 25, 26.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's You're
the leader of the group, right? The leader of the group.
Something. I'm by far the oldest. Yeah, but.
No, lovely. Right, Tobias, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Right, hopefully, rest those legs, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody of you is in London next week.
For Mahindra?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
I'll see you there.
Ah, okay.
Yes. I'll see you on Tuesday. I'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, then. We'll see you soon.
All right. Cheers, Davey.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Well,
Jack, we lasted 100 minutes.
Wow, we've done well.
How have we lasted an hour 40 with 5 people?
We've done well.
But I'm fairly certain that is our equal lowest.
Lowest, yeah, I think so too. So
I believe we had 5 on like the very first one or the second one or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. There's been some quite.
This is not the lowest
that we've ever done.
One ever. But thanks to the 4 people who are still hang on, you've got chat open.
I've got chat. No, I've only got chat.
Thank you to the 2 people who are still watching this show.
No, I've got Streamlabs open. So maybe.
Okay. Thank you to the 3 people who are still watching. Yeah. Thanks to the 5 people who came on.
But yeah, I think the only thing to say is that hopefully, right, in terms of, I thought I turned this lower third off. There we go. We're hopeful for testing that we can be providing some. We should have some live watch along streams. Obviously, there won't be any footage of the live footage
apart from if we like turn unless we're going around, then we'll have some live footage. If you watch the streams last year done by Josh Birch, I did go to different points around the circuit and show you different areas, but I can't.
So for
exactly.
So for the fan base that bothered to turn up today, the others that bothered went out instead and said, "I can't make it." You know what Chris Wharton said to me? He said, "I can't make the show." He said, "I'm really sorry, I can't make it." He said, "Oh, why? I've got to go to bed." It's like, what, 8 o'clock?
Really?
So I got work. I got work on Saturday. I was like, "What are you talking about? We go to bed 8 o'clock." He said, "Yeah, I'm old now." It's like, what?
He's not that old.
Come on. What sort of joke is
He's
that?
Younger than me.
Yeah, he is younger than you. He's just graduated from uni, mate. So
he graduated
too. Yeah, he's graduated.
Yeah, of course he has. Yeah.
So he graduated.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, everything sort of blurred into one. I forgot that he was at uni 3 years ago because he was at uni when we were in Liverpool for Eurovision.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would make sense.
So it's just like fair enough. But thank you for everyone who did come on and obviously did watch. So yeah, that's the thing, right? So we're hopeful. Obviously for testing, we're going big here. So there will be watch-alongs, and we'll have the live timings up and the driver trackers up for you, with live commentary, which will be featured with Joshua Birch, and then will involve me and Pico. We will be commentating and come in bits and bobs because we'll be filming and doing other stuff. But there'll be bits and bobs where we'll be out and about, and keeping you all up to date with the latest that's going on in pre-season testing in Valencia. But we're going to wrap the show up there. We've managed to get 1 hour and 45 minutes out of it. I think we've done a good enough job.
Somehow. Yeah.
We've done well. We're going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon. Good night.